Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Saturday, December 10th, 2022. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, you can always find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Saturday in college basketball. First up, we see Arizona taking on Indiana. This one's going to be a 7:30 Eastern start time on Fox. This is a loaded Saturday card. There's so many great matchups on the board. You know, Thursday and Friday in college hoops, I think it was 8 games on Thursday, only 10 games on Friday. But this Saturday card, loaded, so many marquee matchups, including this one, and number 14 Arizona, number 10 Indiana. Now, Arizona defensively not the greatest to start the season, 65th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency, not really forcing a lot of turnovers right now, but they're still a good rebounding team, and on offense, this is one of the best offenses in college hoops right now, and this is an Arizona team that plays at such a fast pace, and they also go on a lot of runs. That was a big thing for Arizona the last few years, is going on those big 10-0, 15-0 runs, and kind of just taking over the game. Now, they're number 1 in the country in effective field goal percentage, and number 1 in 2-point field goal percentage, 64.5% in their 2-point field goal attempts. A good 3-point shooting team as well. I think their offense is just too much for Indiana. You know, this is not necessarily, in my opinion, the best matchup for Indiana, even though this is a very good Indiana team and has some solid wins on the year. Still, I think Arizona's strength of schedule a little bit tougher. You know, they played Cincinnati, San Diego State, Creighton, Utah, all top 100 teams in KenPom, and playing San Diego State, I would say Indiana is a little bit more comparable to San Diego State. Arizona took care of business in that game, 17-point win. I don't think it's going to get that ugly in this one, but I like Arizona to score 75, 80 points in this game and win outright. So give me Arizona on the money line. Next up, we see UAB taking on West Virginia. This one's going to be a 6 o'clock Eastern start time. You know, not many times we see in college hoops at this point in the season a Conference USA team ranked inside the top 40 in KenPom, but right now 38th ranked UAB. Here they are, 7-1 to start the season. The only loss for them, a neutral site loss against a solid Toledo team. It's also in the top 100 in KenPom, and UAB 28th in adjusted offensive efficiency. They have one of the more talented scorers in all of college hoops, in my opinion, in Jordan Walker, shooting about 42% from 3 so far. This is an experienced team. It also has a pretty good front court as well. KJ Buffin, somebody you're going to want to watch out for as the season continues. And they brought in a nice transfer from LSU, and Eric Gaines was off to another good start to the year. So I think UAB is not going to be intimidated in this matchup, even though it is their first true road game of the season. This was a tournament team last year. They played against Houston. I thought they played them really tough in that game in the first round. We know Houston had a deep run in the tournament that year, but I think UAB is going to hang around in this game. West Virginia is a talented team, a very well-coached team, but I still think this is just too many points to give to a very sneaky underdog in UAB. I wouldn't be surprised to see an outright win for UAB and the Blazers, so give me the points here with UAB. Next up, I want to talk about one of the early games for Saturday's card. This one's going to be an 11:30 Eastern start time between Buffalo and Tulane. I know some of you guys like to look at those early matchups, as do I. Sometimes you can find some good value with these games. Most people overlook, but you know, in this game, I think Tulane is a side that I'm going to be backing quite a few times as we near conference play, as I do think there's some value with the Green Wave because of their slow start to the season. Now, they're still 5-3 this season, so a winning record, but this is a top 100 ranked Tulane team that has experience and is well coached, and I think they're a lot better on the defensive end than what we've seen thus far. You know, Tulane is struggling to defend the perimeter. They're ranked 306 in the nation in 3-point defense, but that's not really going to be an issue here against a Buffalo team that's ranked 329th in the country in 3-point shooting. You know, Buffalo is looking to attack the paint, as is Tulane, but I think Tulane's defense, their 2-point defense, ranked 37th in the country. I think it's going to hold up well in this spot, and I also like the fact that Tulane is ranked 24th in 2-point offense, 2-point field goal percentage. Buffalo ranked 282nd in defending those 2-point field goals. Not a very good rebounding team for Buffalo, ranked 253rd in offensive rebounding, 293rd in defensive, while Tulane, you know, may not be the greatest offensive rebounding team, but can collect on the defensive glass. They don't turn the ball over much. They take care of the basketball. I like this Tulane team. I think we're getting some value on them. And I think you look at Buffalo, this was not a team expected to do much this season, a team that lost a lot of production from last year's roster, but I will say they've competed at a much higher level than I expected and that most expected, but there's still, I think, value fading them in this spot. Their first neutral site or road games since November 21st. I don't like it. Give me Tulane here laying the points. Next up, we see San Diego State taking on St. Mary's. This is a great matchup on paper between two of the better mid-major teams, and San Diego State is ranked 19th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency. St. Mary's even better, ranked 8th in the country. This is a game where I'm looking at St. Mary's. This is a team that doesn't really worry about their three-point defense. They do let teams take a lot of three-point shots. Those are difficult shots to make, and last season ranked 227th in three-point defense. The year before, 249th in three-point defense, 228th in 2020. So this is a team that consistently doesn't really worry about the perimeter, and even this year they're ranked 204th in three-point defense. So San Diego State, on paper, and you just look at their field goal percentage, they're ranked 310th in three-point shooting. So you would think this is actually a pretty good matchup for St. Mary's, but where I worry the most is the fact that I do think that San Diego State is going to get a boost in their shooting percentage numbers as the season continues. You look at a guy like Matt Bradley, one of the better scorers really in the last few years in college hoops. This season he's shooting 26% from the perimeter. Last year he was a 40+% shooter from deep. So I do think that those numbers are going to move towards the mean a little bit as the season continues, and because of that, I do think San Diego State's offense is going to get a boost. St. Mary's could be in trouble a little bit in terms of their perimeter defense. Now, where I think St. Mary's has a huge advantage in this game is their defensive rebounding. And if San Diego State is not making those three-point jumpers at a 35+% rate, I don't think they stand a chance in this game, as St. Mary's is 5th in the country in defensive rebounding, while San Diego State is ranked 280th in offensive rebounding. So you're going to be held to one shot per trip almost every single time down the court. St. Mary's is a very tough team to beat. If St. Mary's was home, I'd love the Gales in this matchup. Because it's a neutral site, I still like St. Mary's. Not loving it because of those regression numbers like I mentioned, but I'm going to lean towards St. Mary's here, take them on the money line. Next up, we see Alabama taking on Houston, the final game we're going to talk about for Saturday's card. This one at 3 o'clock Eastern start time on ABC. What a great matchup here between number 8 ranked Alabama, number 1 Houston, and KenPom. Bama is ranked 14th. Now, where I worry the most about Bama in this game is the fact that they turn the ball over left and right. They're number 301 in the country in offensive turnover percentage. Houston, they love to force those turnovers. Top 10 in the country this year. They're usually around the top 30, top 50 in the nation each and every year. So that's where I worry the most about Bama. Now, I do think this is a good shooting team. I like the fact that they can compete on the glass in this game. Houston, we know, is a very good rebounding team, especially on the offensive side, but Alabama is as well, ranked 4th in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. So, I do think Alabama has the front court to compete with such a good Houston team here. The fact is Alabama going to be able to limit those turnovers? That's the real question mark for me. If Houston is forcing 15, 20 turnovers in this game, I just don't see how Alabama is going to make enough shots to compete in this game. And Houston, a very good defense, ranked 2nd in the nation in adjusted defensive efficiency, number 3 in three-point defense, and the number 1 team in two-point defense. So it is going to be tough to score, and when you're turning the ball over left and right, it makes it even more difficult. I know they're going to get those offensive rebounds. I wouldn't be surprised to see 10 to 15 offensive rebounds for Bama in this matchup, but I don't think it's enough. I'm going to lay the points here with Houston in a true home game. And that's it. Those are the games for Saturday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave that like and subscribe, and don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.